listening to the radio yesterday, and they were talking about ways to find happiness in the midst of all this, you know, when you're quarantined or isolated a little bit. And they made some good points that I thought I would share. They talked even about the term social distancing. Social distancing is maybe not the best term to use. Maybe think of physical distancing, but social connecting, right? We still need to be social. We still need to be connected, but we need to be physically distanced. All right. So if we kind of set that in your mind of like how we can take precautions right now. So that's one. Another one that caught my mind, or stuck in my mind, was how to find a sense of awe in your day-to-day life right now. And, you know, whether it's in a post-pandemic era or whenever, you know, this is a useful thing. How can you find a sense of awe in your everyday life, rather than be like, well, I can only find awe if I go to the Grand Canyon. That's the only place there's awe for me. Well, what if there's awe right there where you're sitting right now with the most mundane thing in your life, right? And I was thinking, like, what is the thing we see every day without fail, the one thing that's always there, never goes away? Well, you know, while we're alive, it's our breath, right? So we're breathing every day, but most of the time we're not paying attention to it, right? But as you sit and you sit today and you practice today, if you can observe your breath with a quality of awe and appreciation and gratitude, right? So when we're breathing well and breathing well, we tend not to pay too much attention to it. When our breathing is not going well, we're very much aware of it. So what if we, for today and days going forward, we learn to observe our breath and all the sort of miraculous things going on around us, you know, hair ties, whatever it might be. Observe it with a quality of awe and appreciation and gratitude. And these are the sort of things that can give your life a little more meaning, more connection, and greater happiness. So there's my little homily for today. Let's get on the mat. All right. So we will come on over, and we're going to start this morning on our backs. All right. So lay down on your backs and take your knees. So cup your hands over your knees, right? And start to make some circles with the thighs. And as the thighs start to move, keep the low back on the floor. And begin to notice how you're breathing. Let's change the direction of the thighs. So as you breathe, what you'll feel is your back expanding onto the floor, the low back, the floating ribs broaden a little bit. And let's gently gather the knees in towards the chest. Breathe here. And the breath is in and out through the nose. Remove my socks, throw them away. Stretch the legs up to the ceiling here and stretch the hands up to the ceiling. We'll start to circle the wrists and the ankles. And then take your arms and begin to reach them past your ears so you're in a position of an L on the floor. So the legs are reaching straight up. The arms are extending out on the floor past your ears. And try to keep the low back, the tailbone to the floor. We'll take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, gently gather the knees in towards the chest, arms wrap around the shins. All right, so you hug yourself in. And then we expand again on the inhale. The legs stretch up and the arms reach past your ears. And exhale. And maintain a little bit of engagement in the low abdominals. So keep those lower abdominals drawn in and see if you can breathe now into the mid and upper ribs. And exhale, thighs in. And stretch the arms up and the legs up and the arms long. And exhale. Good. From here, lower the feet to the floor, knees bent. All right, feet flat on the floor, knees over the heels. As you inhale, pick the hips up and stretch the arms past the ears. So a bridge pose with the arms extended, that's the breath in. And the exhale, the hips back down to the floor and the arms back to your sides. Okay, this is it. That's the movement, that's the breath. We inhale, hips up, arms reach long. And exhale, come down. Now, good, we'll keep doing that. And as you lift, try to keep the weight evenly balanced on the feet. Try not to roll to the outer edges of the feet. Try to keep a quality of even balance in the feet. So you might have to have a little adduction in the inner thighs, a little pronation of the inner feet to keep that big toe mound pressing down. So we're moving and breathing here. Nothing's changed. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Guide the knees into the chest, hug them in. Stretch the arms past your ears, the legs to the ceiling, breathe in. And exhale, feet to the floor, arms to your sides. Good. So we'll set up for the bridge. Inhale, arms stretch and the hips lift. And the exhale, arms back to the sides, hips to the floor. Inhale, legs lift. Arms reach, so we're combining the two movements. And then exhale, feet back down to the floor, arms to your sides. Inhale, hips lift, arms reach. And exhale, back down. So we'll keep doing this a couple more times. Legs are lifting. Arms are reaching, breathing in. Exhale, everything back down. This time the hips are lifting, breathing in, arms are reaching. And come down. Good. Let's bring the knees to the chest. Now, interlace the hands around the back of the head. Good. Stretch your right leg long away from you. Hover the heel off the floor and press the shoulder blades to the floor. Right. Let's slowly roll to the left shoulder blade and bring the right elbow to the left knee. Keep the right leg extended. Good. And we slowly switch, rolling to the right shoulder blade, right elbow to the floor, left elbow to the right knee as it draws in. And back and forth we go. My new yoga tagline here for this quarantine is going to be, I want everyone to have guts, but not a gut. Okay, maybe I'll get a t-shirt. Back and forth. Let's do 5 more each side. One, that's 1 cycle. And that's 2 cycles. And that's 3. And that's 4. And that's 5. Good. Hug the knees to the chest. Nice work, everybody. Bring your arms to your sides, just underneath the hips slightly. And then stretch the leg to the ceiling. This time, cross your right ankle over your left as the legs extend to the ceiling. Good. So hug the inner thighs together. And then slowly lower the legs down. Keep them extended or bend the knees as need to, but keep the inner work, the inner draw of the legs. So the inner thighs are drawing towards one another. Keep the low back flat on the floor. And then slowly draw the legs back up. Open the legs wide apart into a V. And then cross your left leg over your right. So the inner thighs are crossing and drawing towards one another. And then slowly, as extended as you can, lower the legs towards the floor and the low back stays on the floor. Try not to let the low back lift off the floor. And come on back up. Open the legs wide apart. And come back, cross the right ankle over the left, lower the legs down slowly. The thighs are scissoring inner towards one another. And come back up, open the legs wide. Left leg crosses over the right, slowly lower down, legs extend. And last time, come back up, legs open out. Right thigh crosses over left, and then lower down. Hover just a bit. Come back up, open apart, and left leg crosses over right. And here we go, hover a little bit when we get down to the bottom. Come back up, open the legs apart, and bring the knees into the chest, hug them in. Good, let's take your hands behind the spine, or behind the thighs, hands behind the thighs. We're gonna rock forward and back on the spine. Do your best, see if we can get a little momentum, and come to your feet folding forward. Soft knees, if you need to use your hands, bring yourselves forward. And so we'll bend our knees a little bit and let the head hang nice and heavy. Deep breath in and flutter your lips up. Let any tension go from your face. And we'll slowly roll on up to stand. Nice, good. Good, let's roll the shoulders back and down a few times. Back up and down. And then as you're ready, stretch the arms up to the sky. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Reach the heels off the floor. Lower the heels back down. Come back up again. Stand as tall as you can, tippy-toed. And heels back down to the floor. And last time, come up high. And lower the heels. This time, long spine, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, take the hands to the floor. Lengthen out to a flat back. Good. And step your feet back to a plank position. Good. Breathing here. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Come forward onto tippy toes, bend the elbows straight back and lower to the floor. Bring your arms to your sides. We're going to lift everything but the hips off the floor. Find Shalabhasana. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Come on down and take the hands outside the ribs. Lift the heart up now, keeping the hips down, tops of the feet on the floor. Come down. Press up to table. Hips high, downward facing dog. Let's stretch the right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee. Stack the right hip over the left. Straighten out the right leg. Look forward and step your right foot forward. Turn the back heel down and come on up. Warrior run. One. Reach the arms up, lift the heart. Sink down into the right thigh. And draw the right leg straight. Reach the hands behind you and lift the heart. Shoulders back. Begin to extend the arms long, breathe in. And then start to bend into the right knee, come forward this time. And take your ribs down towards the inner right thigh, stretch the arms overhead. And release the hands to the floor. Step back to plank position. Come forward onto your tippy toes. Elbow straight back as you lower to the floor again. Lift the heart, keeping the hips down. Then come down. Press up to table. And lift your hips high, down dog. Stretch the left leg up this time, bend the knee and stack the hip over the right. Straighten the legs, square the hips, and step the foot through. Back heel turns down, hips squaring forward, and lift the heart, warrior one. And begin to draw the left leg straight. Reach the hands behind you. Hands to the low back, elbows and shoulders pulling back. Lift the heart, breathe in. And then begin to bend into the left knee, pull the heart forward, and then lengthening the arms out overhead into our bowing warrior. And release the hands down. Step back to plank position. Come forward, and then again, lower down all the way to the floor. Final time, cobra. And come down. Good. Press up to table, tuck your toes, hips high, down dog. Three more breaths here. You can lower the knees, take child's pose if you want. Soften your knees as you step or hop to the front. Lengthen out to a flat back, breathe in. And let's fold forward. Take a couple of breaths here, breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in, and breathing out. Good. Come all the way up, reach the arms high, and take the hands to prayer. Good. Rest the hands on the torso, one on the belly, one on the heart. Breathe in, breathe out. Stretching the arms up again, breathe in, and fold forward. Lengthen to flat back, breathe in. Hop or step your feet back to a plank position. Coming forward and lower down to the floor. Reach your hands behind you, clasp your hands behind the back, and begin to lift everything but the hips and the low belly off the floor into our bound Shalabhasana. And release the hands down, the torso down. Start to peel yourself up and pull the hips forward, coming onto hands and tops of feet for upward facing dog. And the hips are pulling forward towards the backs of the wrists. Push down to the arms so that the neck gets longer. And then we'll pike our hips high to down dog. Nice, everybody, good. Right leg's gonna reach high, bend the knee and stack the hip. Look forward, step the foot forward this time. Left toes turn out, windmill to warrior two. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, can you observe the miraculous nature of the breath? Whether you control it or you don't, it's still there. It is a gift for every breath we draw in. Let's lengthen the right leg, reach the arms to the sky, cut your right hip back, and then reach the right hand forward. Triangle pose, left arm stretches high. Good. Take the left arm long, reach it past your ear, and then lower down to a lunge. Turn the back heel up. Step your right foot back, plank. Come forward a little bit, and then lower down halfway. Upward facing dog. We'll pick the hips high, down dog. Let's lift the left leg up and bend the knee. Stacking your hip. Square the hips, extend the left leg out, look forward, and pick up your left foot, step it forward. Windmill up to warrior two. Hips and heart are open over to the right. Left arm stretching forward. Gaze is out over the left hand. Let's take 3 more breaths here in warrior two. Draw the left leg straight, extend the arms up, lengthen out of the torso, and then reach forward to the left hand, cut the hip back, left hand down onto ankle, shin, foot, or block. And take the right arm, reach it past your lengthen out right side. And lower the hand down, come to a lunge as the back heel turns up. Breathe in here. And exhale, step the left foot back. Come forward a little bit. Lower down halfway. Lift the heart, pulling the hips forward. Up dog. And pick the hips up high to down dog. Stay here, breathing, or come to child's pose for a few breaths. Returning to down dog, look forward, hopping or stepping your feet up to the front. Let's lengthen the flat back and fold. Breathing here. Staying here, breathing out slowly. Long spine, come all the way up, reach the arms high. Take the hands to prayer. Rest one hand to the low belly, one to the heart. Reach the arms up again, breathe in. And let's fold forward. Lie into a flat back, breathe in. Hop or step your feet back to plank position. Coming forward slightly and lower all the way to the floor. Reach the arms to the front of the room past your ears. Lift the legs, lift the arms and the upper chest. And come on down, take the hands by the side ribs. Start to pick yourselves up and pull the hips forward, lifting the hips off the floor. Keep length in the low back to protect the low back. Pull the shoulders back and down as you lift the heart, and lifting the gaze and the chin only by the lift of the heart. And we'll pick our hips up high to down dog again. Stretch your right leg high, bend the knee. Straighten the leg, step forward. Warrior two. Reach forward with the right arm. Take the elbow to the knee or the hand down to the foot or the floor. Extend the left arm past your side angle pose. Come back up and reverse now. The right hand's going to reach to the sky. All right, bring the right hand down inside the right foot and walk the right toes out. A little variation here. Lower the back knee and untuck the back toes. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot and press the thigh away. External thigh rotation, right leg. Variation can always be to reach the right hand either back, maybe round you to the floor, or take the left foot. Or you can continue working the right thigh into that external rotation. Good, and before we do the other side, come back onto your hands and we'll step the back foot forward and lower down into squat. So here in Garland pose, Malasana, we'll work on pressing the knees towards one another. So the elbows are inside the knees and the arms are parallel. So as the knees draw in, you can feel the pressure of the hands build in between the hands building. So we're working the inner thighs together. Now we can stay right here, or if we want to work on our crow, we'll bring our hands to the floor, knees to the up arms, lifting one or both feet off the floor. Looking forward. And if you want to, you can jump back and take a vinyasa, or simply lower the feet and step back. Nice work. From down dog, let's lift the left leg up, bend the knee. And straighten the leg, step forward. Back heel turns down, warrior two. Good. Take your left elbow to the knee, or a little deeper if you wish, hand down to the foot or the floor. And right arm reaches past your side angle pose. Come back up, reach the left hand high, right hand down the back leg. And we come back down, windmill the hands down inside the left foot, walk the left foot out. And same hip opener we did on the other side. So the back knee is down and untuck the back toes. And the left hand's going to work the inner thigh into an external rotation. Maybe working a little bit of a twist now. Left arm might stretch out, maybe to the floor behind you, or in that direction, or you can take the foot. Or you can be right here. Thank you very much, Andrew. All right, great. Take the hand back down to the floor and we'll step the right foot forward, come back to our low squat. So your choice here, stay right here, work into your crow once again, if you want. Come on down, lower the hips. Take a rest for a second. If you're, crow curious, getting a block is a pretty handy little thing. And I'll just demonstrate one thing we do in the studio. Sometimes to get the feet up on a block. So once the knees come to the upper arms, it's as though you're already in this flying crow position, right? So you can work right here. I'm already up, and then maybe take one foot up at a time. So get used to that weight sharing. And then over time, maybe one or both feet might come up, or maybe reach down, pick up your block, just for fun. All right, good. So anyhow, let's just return to squat for a moment. If you want to take a moment to practice any of that crow technique I just showed you, you can. Otherwise, stay right here. Good. Let's come all the way up. Take a wide step out. Hands to your hips, elbows back, lift the heart. Let's fold forward and take the hands to the floor. Weight is evenly balanced on the feet. Just 2 more breaths here. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. Come up halfway, hands to your hips, all the way up. Lift the heart. Next variation, reach the hands out behind you, clasp the hands behind the back, lift the heart, breathe in. Into the hips, hands overhead, fold forward. One more breath. Hands to your hips, up halfway, all the way to stand. Good, taking in a breath. Lift the heart again. We're going to take another variation. This time we're going to reach down, take the ankles, folding forward, or you can hold your big toes. You come up halfway, all the way to stand. Clearing the breath. And final variation on that. This time the hands are going to stay on the hips, elbows back, breathe in. Hinge and fold. Come up halfway, long spine, strong core, all the way to stand. Good, nice work. Arms out and hop the feet together. Nice. Good. Now step back to the front of your mat. We'll come to some twists now. So stretch the arms up, and with the left hand reaching forward, reach the right hand back. Come back up, arms overhead, and stretch the left arm back, right hand forward. Keep the hips squaring forward. The tendency is to let the left hip draw back, but keep it reaching forward. One more time each side. Right arm back, left arm forward. And back up, and switch other side. Good, we come back up. This time, sit into your chair. Take hands to prayer position and bring left elbow across the body to the right knee. Sit down, prayer twist. Release the twist, fold forward. Lengthen, flat back, breathe in. Hop or step your feet back to plank position. You can take a vinyasa here or go right back to down dog. From down dog, right leg will lift and step forward. We come to warrior one position with our legs. Stretch the arms up, hands to prayer. Then the twist, left elbow across the right knee. Try to keep the back heel rooted down. So the left elbow is reaching across the right knee. The hands are pressing strong into one another. Good. Now, release the hands to the floor. Bring your left foot in about 3 to 3.5 feet back, straighten the right leg, and fold over that leg. Come up about halfway, lengthen out the spine. You can use a block here if you want. We're going to keep the left hand down and then reach the right hand up. The legs are straight. Revolve triangle. Good. Lower the right hand down and step your left foot forward, fold. Drop the hips again. Chair pose. Prayer twist. Right elbow now across the left knee. Release, fold forward. Lengthen, flat back, breathe in. Up or step your feet back. Take a vinyasa or go back to down dog. Left leg will stretch up. Step the foot forward, warrior one position with the legs. Lift, hands to prayer, and prayer twist. Back heels turned down, right toes turning out. Good, release the hands down and bring the right foot in so that it's about a comfortable 3 to 3.5 foot stride. Lengthen out and we fold over your extended left leg as the hips square. Good. Lift up about halfway. If you want to find a block here, you might. Right hand down. It can be inside or outside the foot. It's your preference. And then maybe left hand to the low back or stretch to the sky. Or revolved triangle pose. Good. Take the hand down. Step the right foot forward, fold one more time. Come all the way up. Take the hands down before we come to the floor. Let's take a balancing pose. Let's come to tree. I'm standing right in front of our tree. Take your right foot either to your inner thigh or calf or ankle and hands up to prayer heart center. Hands can stay right here or you can lift them. slow down the breath. And come down. As you're ready, switch to the other side. Nice. Good. Let's just circle out the hips once more before we come to the floor. Good. And let's down to lay on your backs, everybody. All right, just a couple back bends here. So we lift the hips off the floor. Maybe the feet are about where the fingertips end. So if you want to reposition your feet so that the knees should be directly above the heels and the shin bones vertical here. And again, notice if you've rolled to the outer edge of your feet, it means you're probably employing your glutes a little more than you need to. See if you can contain the effort principally to the front of the thighs. Start to walk the shoulder blades in towards one another and clasp the hands, if you may, behind your back. And you want to think about lifting the upper chest so that it becomes vertical. Obviously, your neck may be saying, no, that's not a good idea. You can always prop underneath the backs of your shoulders. We want to encourage the opening into the upper chest without going too far on the neck. So let's lower the hips back down. From here, open the arms to a T and let the knees fall together. Relax the breath. We'll take another back bend here. A bridge as we just took, or if you'd like to take wheel this morning, we take hands outside the ears, elbows point up, the hips come up for a moment up to the crown of the head, and then begin to extend the arms. Come on down as you're ready, tucking the chin if you're in wheel. Arms out to the sides, and with the feet mat width apart, we'll let the knees windshield wiper side to side. And maybe turn the gaze the opposite direction from the knees. Good, and then gather the knees slowly to the chest. Roll off to a side and come on up to sit. We'll stretch the left leg out, bring the right foot in. Breathe in, reach. Janu, holding over your left leg. Make your way back up, tall spine, switch legs. Make your way back up. Open the legs out into a V. Hips can be propped here on a blanket here if you wish. Let's reach the left hand out and take hold of the left big toe. So thumb between big toe and second toe. Palm up. Right arm reaches out and back. Breathe in. And then extend the hand out towards the outer left foot. Come on back up, sit tall and centered for a moment. And then this time, right hand will reach out. Take that big toe. Left arm will reach away. So we turn the heart away from the leg so that we can lengthen into the side body. As you're ready, come on back up and take the hands underneath the knees. Bring the feet in and play a little bit more. So get hold of your big toes with the arms inside the knees, and we'll sit up. Lean a little bit to your right so that you can lift the left foot off the floor. And as your space allows, as your leg allows, we'll see if we can open the leg straight. Okay. Other side. So next. Good. Now sit up a little taller and see if we can now balance, pull the heels off the floor a little bit. Make sure there's nothing sharp behind you, right? And then maybe we'll see if we can straighten the legs and balance. And then see if the legs might slowly come together. The peekaboo. They come again. And then if you could do so by flexing the ankle, come right back down. All right, good. Pull forward. Come on up. Let's set up for pigeon. And it could be either seated as such with the ankle over the knee. It can be reclined on your back in this position, or it can be prone with the left leg back. So we'll start with our right leg forward. The right ankle is going to be flexed, and the right hip is supported with a prop if it's not coming to the floor. We can stay on your forearms if you're in this prone position, or lower down. And as I pointed out, this is one option. All right, so my leg is forward. The other option is in the seated version. All right? And the other option is on your back, taking a bind or left foot to the floor. So we all have different hips. And you know, because one person's hip does one thing, and another person's does another thing. It's not like a thing. You know, sometimes just just the shape of the bone, just the shape of how the femur, sits in the hip will dictate the degree of external rotation that your leg can take. So don't take it as like a value judgment or anything like that. I mean, there's certainly a range of motion that we can explore in a healthy way. Come on up, switch to the other side. Come back up, stretch the legs forward, pull the flesh out from under your sits bone, stretch the arms up, and we'll fold over your extended legs. You're going to come back up, slowly come down to the floor and stretch your legs overhead towards plow. Bring one hand to the low back, the other hand to the low back, and then lift one or both legs up, elbows drawing in, shoulders stand. You can modify this position. The legs can be a little bit more of an angle if vertical is not working for you. If you can work your hips overhead, fine, or over your shoulders. So lots of ways this pose can look. The legs can certainly be at a V angle like this. And we'll bring the legs back overhead once again. Plow for a moment. And slowly roll the hips back down, legs to the floor. Lift yourself up onto your elbows and lift the heart. Cup the hands to the outer thighs and maybe start to open the throat, crown of the head to the earth. And release, coming to your backs, arms out to the sides, knees up over your chest, and roll the thighs to the left. Right hand rest to the outer, left hand rest to the outer right leg, and turn the gaze to the right. And let's go to the other side. And to your backs one more time, hug the knees in. And release the legs out, Shavasana, everybody. A well-deserved rest. Cover yourself up if you've cooled down. You can walk the shoulder blades under your backs, lengthen out the back of the neck, rest the arms out just a few inches from the body, palms up, and the toes turned out. we'll start to bring small movements back to fingers and toes. And before we start to move too much, let's rest one hand to the low abdomen and one hand to the heart. You can keep the legs extended or walk the feet in. But I want you to listen to your breath with your hands. And as I discussed earlier, see if we can find the mundane to be miraculous. See if we can find awe in the everyday. And the thing that's presented to us from every minute is our own breaths. So if we can practice finding inspiration and awe and gratitude in our own breath, that will spill over into how we see the world, our own happiness, how we relate to others. Begin to stretch your arms out past your ears and lengthen and fill up with a nice, big, full, nourishing breath. Let a nice sigh out the mouth. Let it all go. Everything you don't need, let it go. Good. Gather the knees gently into the chest and give yourself a nice hug, a nice squeeze. You can roll off to a side as you're ready and come on up to an upright seated position. Good. Well done, everybody. Thank you for doing the work today. And I hope you can find benefit in your own physical comfort, state of mind. And if that's all working for you, I hope you can use that towards making your world a little better. You know, so when you're feeling good, when you're feeling right and all the right things, gosh, you're so much more a pleasant person to be around. So, let's offer up the benefits of your practice, right? Okay. Thank you all for being here. Namaste, everyone. Thanks, everybody. Nice work, everybody.
Thank you. Great class.
Good work, everybody. Before you go, everybody, I just want to announce that next week we're doing a couple fundraising classes. I mean, this is all fundraising for me right now, but next week, Tuesday night, 6 p.m., my class is going to be a fundraiser for Unity House, and we're going to stream the class on Facebook Live. So Unity House is a human services agency here in Troy that provide a variety of services to people at risk and with great need. And then next Friday, a week from tomorrow, Diane Simpson's going to do a fundraiser during her regular class time to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Troy. So if you want to participate through that, I think they're going to be through Facebook Live. Feel free to join in or donate if you wish, and or at least maybe spread any notifications that we put out on our Facebook pages. We'd love to have a good participation. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Sarah.